Back up! Back up! Oh, shit! Oh, goddamn something! That is one crazy. You're recording that? Delete the whole thing. Delete that. Delete that. Delete.
And it went like.
So one day I decided to get a snorkel and a towel and head down to the creek to look for treasure underwater. I set my stuff down, put my gear on, and then headed into the water. I looked around and found a rock. I kept looking with no luck, so then I put my phone on this thing to film underwater. And I kept scanning around underwater looking for stuff and eventually found this pair of sunglasses. Then I saw this flip-flop floating and it was someone who was swimming over there, so I threw it to him. And then I began walking over to a deeper part of the creek to look for stuff. And I ended up taking off my snorkel because it was useless. Then I went back out, and after a while of looking, I found this pipe thingy. And I put it on my head as a necklace. And then I went back out, jumped in, and found this. Like for part 2. Part 2 of snorkeling for stuff in the creek. So I went under, and I found a watch. I brought it up, and then I went back under to look for more stuff. And then I got up on this thing and found some coins. After that, I jumped in.
Not deep enough for that.
And then I got back up to scan for stuff. And after that, I got back in to look underwater. Then I stood up and fell down and dropped my phone in the current. And I thought I lost it forever. I got up and started frantically looking.
Jack, I dropped my phone.
And eventually my brother found it stuck in between 2 rocks.
I lost my phone in there and barely found it.
And then I left, probably forever.
Leaving this creek, bro.
Can you see us?
Yes, I can.
Oh yeah? How many fingers am I holding up?
You're holding 2.
Oh shit, okay.
Here, look. Now I think you can see me if I do that. Hold on. Yes.
Damn! You cute. I'm not... Okay.
Alright, I'm sorry, dog. Anything to be TikTok famous. 1, 2.
Noah, you throw that dog in the pool and you're going back to live with your mother.
Lucky bastard.
Alexa, turn off.
This is the scariest Easter Bunny story you will ever hear. But is it true? In 1949, a man in a bunny costume was commonly seen wandering the streets of Fairfax County, Virginia. This man would go outside and watch the children play every single day, and when they asked him who he was, he just said he was the Easter Bunny. He would watch these kids until they went inside their homes, so he could figure out where they live. At night, he would break into their houses and kidnap the children after hacking up their parents with an axe. The police finally connected the strange murders and the kidnappings to the bunny, but they could never find him. No one knew where he lived or who he was. The police decided to do a night patrol, and sure enough, they found the bunny walking towards the house with an axe. The police pulled their car over and heard the bunny singing, "Here comes the Easter Bunny, hacking up all the parents I can. Hippity hoppity, bloodshed's on its way." The police yelled at him to freeze, but he didn't. They got out of the car and warned him to put the axe down or they would shoot. Part 2 coming. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, then I suggest you go check it out. Instead of stopping at gunpoint, he decided to charge the police while swinging the axe above his head, which forced police to shoot him. Their bullets ripped through his costume and he fell to the ground. The police tore off his mask and nobody was able to recognize him. Nobody knew who he was and he was never identified. The biggest problem was with this man dead, there was no way to find the children he kidnapped. One day 2 fishermen were down by a bridge when they heard children crying from a creepy shed. When they heard the children crying, one stayed by the shed to try to calm them down, and the other went to find help. The police arrived and they broke the humongous padlock securing the doors, and they let the children out free. When the shed was searched by police, not only did they find a bunch of weapons, but they found the Easter Bunny costume. It was concluded that this was the secret hideout of the Easter Bunny, and everything inside the shed was put into evidence and destroyed.
What? Yeah, go ahead. I dare you to say it. I thought so.
Then I got you on your knees, but you lie back on your feet, just so you can take advantage of me. Tell me, how's it feel sitting?
Why he turning? Ma'am, someone on the highway is pulling. Mom, what? Go, wife, go! Go. This man has a gun. His license plate is KTG 4735. Oh fuck.
So one day I ordered a human-sized hamster ball to run in the creek with. I took it outside, unboxed it, and unfolded it. I then plugged the air pump in and turned it on. And while it was filling up, I pulled all the folds out to make sure it filled up all the way. It was done, and I rolled it out to the grass and unzipped it, and all the air came out.
Air pump.
Yeah, I felt pretty dumb, but then I took it to my brother's truck to take to the creek. We got there, and I drank the Bang to have energy like a hamster. I got in the ball, and my brother started filling it up. It was pretty neat from the inside, and I liked the air. And then it was done, and I ran towards the creek.
Follow you.
I got in the water.
Whoa!
Like for part two of putting a hamster ball in the creek. Don't try this at home or anywhere. So I walked in, and it was pretty strong and started to carry me away. It was pretty neat in there, but when I tried to stand up and run, I just fell. So I laid down, and then I got back up and tried again. But yeah, it never worked. So I just chilled and let the current take me, and then we came to this bridge thing, and my brother and my dad stopped me. But I couldn't quite run up to land, and it was kind of a problem. And then some other people helped push, and I made it up and ran off. And then my brother unzipped me.
Good job, Jack. Whoa, my ears popped.
We're coming. Come on. It's up here. Oh shit, do you hear that?
I hear you. I'm coming. I'm coming. I see you.
Touch this.